All right, everyone, welcome back into another fantasy golf video. Going to be breaking down round 2 here of the Texans Children's Houston Open, giving you guys the best showdown plays, the best bets for 3-ball bets, head-to-head bets, and also PRIZEPICKS Underdog prop bets. But first, I want to start off with a quick recap from round 1. So guys, round 1 kind of fascinating. So the thing with fantasy golf, and it's really crazy, is that a lot of the times if you have a good AM wave, which I pretty much did, I think a lot of people did, the PM wave typically isn't good, and that is what ended up happening. But if we look at the leaderboard, guys, it's kind of a crazy leaderboard that we have going. No one is too high owned. We are seeing a decent amount of randomness here with this leaderboard. All of these players are kind of like shoulder shrug options, players that you might end up on, but really not going out of your way to target. Maybe Taylor Pendrith, Ryan Gerard's fine. You know, all pretty good staff hits on the top end here. Keith Mitchell, 11th. Ming-Woo Lee, the 7th best pick. You know, he's the best player that's playing well on the top end of the leaderboard. You could argue Keith Mitchell, who we hit as a first round lead last week, but we'll see if he follows that up here in round 2. But a kind of random leaderboard, and that's more echoed in the ownership here, guys. Look at the ownership. No one is really paying off their ownerships. All the chalk is missing right now, and you guys might be seeing Scotty there at 32% owned at 13th place. That's good, right? That's not bad, but like at his price tag at that ownership, that's actually pretty bad. He needs to finish like top 3 to be able to pay off his price tag at that ownership. Rory's not doing well. You know, we have a lot of cut sweats. Now, Max Gracerman wasn't someone I really was going out of my way to target. We also had Taylor Moore withdrawal, and if you look at some of the other good staff hits, they are somewhat producing good results, but really that PM wave, guys, struggled is what it seemed like. That's how I'm reading into it. I know some golfers did have some low scores in the PM. I'm kind of reading that as more random, especially when a lot of the chalk that was in the PM wave struggled. Okay, this is still late because it hasn't updated because round 2 hasn't finished, or round 1 hasn't finished yet. I mean, guys, I don't think I've seen something this crazy where like one player above 10% ownership, I guess Mackenzie Hughes, you could argue as well. 2 players about 10% ownership are rewarding people right now. So this is clearly a pretty random week as it sits right now. Now we're only one round through it. A lot of the golfers are at +2, +1. A lot of the golfers didn't shoot themselves out of it. You would expect them to bounce back in round 2. And so when we go ahead and take a peek here at these showdown plays, that's really what we're going to be expecting. Now I want to start with just taking a peek at which golfers are actually just good round 2 golfers. And what we're going to notice is that some of the kind of higher owned players as well are going to be good round 2 golfers. So you would expect them to play better. Jason Day, Alex Smalley, Rory's mixed in there, JJ Spawn, Rio, even Sky Scheffler, who again needs to play better than that to outproduce his price tag. One of the best leverage plays, and I call this out on X, was Sunjay M. He's doing decently well, but maybe someone we're looking at in round 2 as well there. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the regression here, though, for round 2. Which golfers are most likely to play better or worse than what they did in round 1? Now, what's fascinating about this list here, guys, it's not, at least on the top end, it's not any golfer that was a crazy good play. Once we start to get down a little bit, we do have Aaron Rai, we do have Davis Thompson in there, we have JJ Spawn, Jacob Bridgman, Alex Smalley. That's encouraging, but typically speaking, we have one golfer that absolutely shoots himself out of it. So like looking at it, of course, they're going to play much better than they did in round 1. We didn't exactly have that. So again, it's going to be probably, hopefully it's a good fun sweat and not a painful cut sweat, but it's a pretty fascinating round 2. And then real quickly, let's just take a peek at those showdown ranks. So Scotty, JJ Spawn, Davis Thompson. So already, guys, I'm going to assume that most people aren't going to want to get to Spawn or Davis Thompson that much, so you can get to them, Aaron Rai as well. And so this is kind of a week in which you can kind of double dip the players that you're already on this week. I'm going to be doing that. It seems pretty solid here. Jacob Bridgman, Alex Smalley's there. So got a lot of good quality options here. Do want to take a quick peek at some of the live strokes gain stats as well. Now let's just take a peek at strokes gain putting first and see which golfers we could maybe attack that are going to putt better. Now, we did have a lot of golfers putt way better than they had putted on the season. So a lot of these golfers on the top end of the leaderboard will probably regress a decent amount. And again, that kind of goes to show you the randomness and kind of the strange round 1 that we had. And then we look at all these golfers that are expected to putt better. Will Chandler's up there, Chan Kim, Hogard, Rory even. But none of the big name golfers, really minus Rory, is popping up in there. So certainly interesting there. Now let's just take a peek at strokes gain approach as well. Which golfers are going to be the golfers that are most likely to improve here? Maybe Tony Finau. So interesting stuff there as a whole, I would say. Again, most of the golfers didn't play too poorly. They just need to clean some things up here or there. So let's go ahead and take a peek at what the 9 to 5 lineup builder is spitting out to us for the showdown slate. And so guys, let's go ahead and take a peek here at the lineup builder, and we're going to sort by value first. So Matthew McCarty's kind of popping up, and there's a good value. Nico as well. I don't know if I necessarily need to get to those guys as much. Molnar as well. These are all golfers that I think we're fine getting to, but I don't know if we necessarily need to go out of our way to get them. I'm just going to set them all at like 10%. Then after that, I think I'm pretty much fine. Like Eric Cole, I probably don't need to get to that much. Patrick Rogers, I don't need to get to that much. I don't mind Alex Smalley. Hogard, I'm fine with. Sam Stevens, I'd be fine with as well. But we're going to go ahead and just generate this and see what it spits out as good lineups. I do think we probably want to be getting to Scotty, Spawn, Rye, some of those golfers a decent amount. And so one thing that we can do here as well, let's say if we're doing maybe 30% max exposure, 3 unique players, I do want to group some of these golfers. So I probably do want at least one of JJ Spawn, Aaron Rye in all my builds. Could probably toss in Rory because he is likely to play better as well. You know, big name player, Aaron Rye. We already have him. So I want at least one of those in all my builds. And so we do that, and it's going to be a little bit more fruitful here. The top lineup would then be, because it likes McCarty and Nico a decent amount, it'd be that. If we scroll a little bit further, we're going to see this second lineup. I probably would like it a little bit better. Spawn, Siwoo, Joe Highsmith, Keith Mitchell, and Kevin Yu. Don't know if we exactly need to get to Keith Mitchell, so we could even go a little bit further here. JJ Spawn, Siwoo, Bridgman, Smalley, Nick Taylor, and Patrick Rogers, I would like a little bit more than that. So it's really up to you guys what you see fit, but I did want to call it all those different various lineups that we have. And then guys, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at some of the prop bets that we are getting. Now, we are not getting any prize pick prop bets just yet. We are getting some strokes props for Underdog, and that's basically it, some birdie or better ones as well. I don't mind the idea of Taylor Pendrith potentially getting over 3.5 birdies or better. I do think the morning wave and even tomorrow should promote a little bit more scoring. Today was, I think, a little bit more difficult. And so I don't hate some of these birdie or better props that are popping up, especially for those golfers that are going to have the AM. So like Keith Mitchell as well. I really hope JJ Spawn doesn't shoot over 69.5 on Underdog. I need him to shoot better than that. And I'd probably like the under a little bit more than that, because you look at some of the other golfers that are similar to him. Aaron Rye's at 69. Jason Day, I guess, is at 69.5. So it's about the same. Maybe Aaron Rye's a little bit too high. But nothing really too much here for Underdog, guys. I probably would just be chasing the birdie or better ones and hoping that does end up playing a little bit better. As always, if you guys are looking to use Underdog and you guys have never used it before, make sure to use the promo code 925 spelled out, which is on the graphic right now. You guys will get a 50% deposit match. Take advantage of that great deal. And so now let's go ahead and get into some of those 3-ball bets. Okay, so last week the 3-ball bets were not good, although round 4 was a little bit annoying because like the top 5 in terms of just percent likelihood to hit all end up hitting. It's the ones where we were getting like an edge on the odds did not hit. They all finished second. We went 50% on the day in round 1 as well, which is okay. Obviously, we want to do a little bit better than that. But looking at guys, we really aren't getting that much here as well because a lot of these ties. I don't want to be targeting any of the tie ones. And so what I'm going to do is to get those eliminated, I'm going to type in tie here. And I'm going to deselect the groups that have a tie in there. I want this to be 3-ball bets purely. And so when we look at it, we are getting a lot of golfers that have an over 40% likelihood or better to hit. This is something that I've done in the past, traditionally just bet on the top 40%. And that had led to a lot of success. That's how we had 2 really awesome weeks in a row to really build up our bankroll based off of these 3-ball bets. And I kind of want to go back to it. I've been, mostly trying to attack these ones where we were getting a positive edge. So like, for example, Ricky Castillo to win his group. I still like that. I am still going to be doing that. But maybe we could also toss in Sam Ryder, who when we compare it against the Vegas odds, we're losing a little bit. Okay. But not terrible there as well. I think we can get there. Jeremy Paul as well. I don't hate that. These are all pretty solid, but the odds are not the best for these. That's kind of the issue. But I do like those 3 the most. And then Alex Smalley is someone that is projected to play well. Really, I didn't catch it. He's +1, which for most of the round, he was sitting pretty. So these would be the 4 that I would like the most here, guys. But all the payouts are pretty low for 3-ball bets, which is definitely interesting this week. All right, and then getting into some round 2 matchup bets. Nothing too much here in terms of plus EV bets that we are getting, guys, where a line is wrong per DraftKings or FanDuel odds. Like Siwoo to beat Jason Day is about it, but that's only a 0.72% EV that we're getting there, so nothing crazy. It's actually just sorted by the 9 to 5 edge, and so we could do Max Grayson to beat Kurt Kitayama. Now -110, yeah, I'm fine with that. That's a solid one. You can get that on several sites. I don't really like this one, guys. I'm not going to target it, but Davis Thompson to beat Aaron Rye. Okay, at minus 105, I think is the reason why it's popping up. Should be closer than that. If you guys want to target that, you can. I think Aaron Rye will have a better day than he had in round 1. That's probably it. Just this one, Max Grossman to beat Kurt Kitayama. And now that's going to do it for this video. I do want to remind you guys that the 9 to 5 membership, get access to all the tools that you saw in this video, plus much more, both for fantasy golf, but also Underdog and PrizePicks prop bets, guys. MLB has started. NBA is going. College basketball's, coming to the conclusion, but we still got that going on. So plenty of great prop bets all on those as well. Get access to all the tools for just $10 a month. Thank you for watching. Good luck with all your bets and DFS Alliance. That's all. And as always, let's keep cashing.